It's time to yap.
It's time to yap. Turn it up.
It's Chloe
Daniel,
Jack,
and Keira.
and this is
What's Yappenin?
Live on Queen's Radio.
On YouTube and Spotify.
What's happening, guys? Happy Friday!
Welcome back. This is our second week with our first theme being public transport dilemmas and driving disasters. Is that right?
So excited. Yeah.
We're so grateful. So many of you have sent in like so many responses, and we've had a glance through, and some of them are quite funny. So
I was kind of low-key blown away by the amount of people that I think we close to 35 responses, which was some of them were ridiculous, but you know,
pretty good. Pretty good turnout.
I thought we weren't going to get very many at all. So
I thought it was just going to be us.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
So thank you to whoever sent in a wee cheeky story.
We're gonna get through as many of them as possible, but obviously because there is so many and we only have a limited amount of time to do it,
Which
we're
is
gonna
so
try.
cool. Like it's so
I know,
cool.
like,
Sorry, you might
so
not make the
popular.
cut this week. Sorry. So your stories have to be juicy, or you'll not get on. So who wants to start with a cheeky story?
Is this ours or one from...
What do you want to do? Ours first or one of the yappers?
Jack, I want to hear from you, to be honest.
Okay, yes, Jack.
About your little...
Well, I have a
Accident.
plethora... Oh. I have a plethora of stories. How did I start it? June 2023. Picture the scene. I was insured on my dad's Audi for like 3 weeks, just because it was like 60 quid. So I was like, to get me through exams, I'll be insured in the Audi. And all is well. I'm in McDonald's car park. I'll not say where. It was raining. I moved forward about 6 inches maybe. And next thing I know, there is a Mark 7 Golf scraping along the front of this Audi.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh. So, yeah, it turns out that Golf was written off. And
Pretty expensive accident.
yeah, so my insurance this year is great fun. So, yeah, that's what I'm at.
How did your parents take that one? Was it your fault, or was it?
I like to say it's 50-50.
Okay.
I'm not going to get involved.
Okay, so
It was
it's his
so
fault.
shy.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'd
say
say it's 50-50, but like his car's written off and mine isn't. Yeah. And what was the guy like when you? Was he really?
It was a woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry for
she
assuming.
was more fuming that she had to wait for her chicken nuggets. she was fuming. She had to eat them in the car, I think.
So valid.
I know. She said the dog was traumatized. And I'm like,
The dog? There was
in
a
the
dog
car?
in
there
the
was a
car?
dog in the car. I'm like, why are you taking the dog through a drive-through? But each to their own, I guess.
I respect it. Well, yesterday, fun fact, I just stalled. For some reason, just forgot how to drive and just decided to stall in Keira's Street. It was really embarrassing. There was a car that slowed down, coming to a stop, and for some reason I thought I'd go round him at 4 miles an hour in 4th gear. Don't know why I did that. The car just
And there was
cut
just
out.
a jolt.
It was a
And
jolt.
that
We
was it.
then slowly glided along beside him. He was just looking at us like, what the goof is going on? And yeah, quite frankly, I was pretty embarrassed. Keira was like, there's one for the radio show, and here we are.
Yeah. I mean, the first time, it was like a couple of weeks after I passed my test, and I was driving home from my now ex-girlfriend's house. It was one of the first times I'd been, so I didn't know the area that well, and was trying not to use the sat-nav, right, driving home.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, because there's multiple roundabouts, so I was like, right, I'm just going to learn the signs so I know what one to go through. So I was like, I'll look at the signs instead of my Apple Maps. Obviously was paying more attention to the signs than I was the actual big roundabout in the middle of the road, and mounted the roundabout. I just, and like, I'd only passed my test about like 2 weeks. I was thinking, this is like 12 o'clock at night, I'm thinking, oh, I've fully wrecked the car here, like this is, and me and my mum share a car, so I'm like, well, snookered. So I then dismount the roundabout and pull into like a nearby street. I'm out of the car, engine off, and like looking under the car as if like I'm looking for a petrol bomb or something, like looking, trying to see if I've like taken half the car off. And I had not. thankfully, at that
Well done.
stage.
Well
But
done.
It's
Proud
quite
of you.
surprising, to be honest. Never seen mountain a roundabout going too well.
and like I had to follow you going through the balls and the falls roundabout.
No, I was leading a convoy.
That was a scary roundabout. Though.
I still won't do it. I would sooner go through Belfast, like through city centre, than go through balls and the falls roundabout.
You're trying to get onto the West Link. How is this?
No, it's not
traumatising?
okay.
But see, when I'm on the West, like fine, it's the balls and the falls roundabout. I cannot, for the life of me, do it.
It's
To be
just
fair-
seeing
That's
trying
a
to
really
indicate
big one,
in.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't see,
massive
like, yeah.
ball.
To be fair, the
Yeah.
car beside us tried to get in because they were in the wrong lane, but not me because I'm a pro.
I just can't do it. There's just too much like inner workings going on.
Yeah.
You really have to think about it, and I just don't have the capacity when I'm already like shaking behind the wheel because there's so many cars. Yeah, it's just I'm like nearly
Just a girl,
stalling on
please
the West Link.
I still, I would like if I was at the McDonald's at Balls and the Falls, I would sooner circle back on myself, come up the Lisburn Road, and go through city
That is
centre.
wild.
Totally,
I don't even blame him.
totally.
Nah, I agree.
It's
actually.
hectic. It's absolutely hectic. Do go through that roundabout. Even if it was like 11 o'clock at night, I wouldn't be sure what I just wouldn't know what lane to be in. I think if I knew the lanes, I wouldn't mind doing it. First time I went on Stanley Nose, I was like, someone needs to draw me a bird's eye view of Stanley Nose.
I tried to take you home after Port Rush Day.
Yeah.
And I meant to turn up before the Sandy News roundabout.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I ended up traipsing around the whole blooming thing, and I
Oh, you were running around?
didn't like
Yeah.
it. Did not enjoy it.
Have you any,
Yeah.
have you any bad driver stories?
Driver stories. Do you know, I'm pretty good on the roads, I'm not going to lie.
Are you?
I'm trying to, well,
Sorry, we might have to get the door open backwards.
You have to pull it really hard. Sorry, Rafe,
Producer Riv.
it's not coping.
He tried to do it all subtly, and he was like, "I actually can't get this over." Well,
to be fair, there was one day I've run a red light I did a journey that took me 5 minutes, which should take 20.
What?
yeah.
How did you do that?
But me and one of my friends were going to a concert at a school on the opposite side
Right.
of the town.
Right.
So I pick her up. We were already running late because when I tell somebody that I'm going to be there at 9, you'll not see me before 9:20, right? That's
Shocking,
just
Keira.
a
This
no-no.
example this
Yeah,
morning, I was
this morning.
standing at my door like a dog
Yeah.
waiting for her. She said, I'm leaving in 5. 20 minutes later, she rolls up. I'm sorry. I was like, Kira, we have not very long to
Yeah.
get there.
No,
Starbucks
it's
has
like,
gone out the
"Do you wanna
window.
get a
Can't go there
sandwich?"
anymore.
No,
No,
we don't
you
have time.
I stopped at Shankill Road's bar this morning.
Oh, my.
5-piece fry.
Oh.
You're coming home with me. Yeah.
Kira, you
So-
are. She's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I've, never crashed, never reversed
Touch wood
into anybody.
right now.
Parallel parking.
I know, now that I
is
say
different.
this,
Five-car
I'll
pile up, no
probably-
home.
Yeah. Something
Did you-
else.
did
something
you
will
drive
go
in
wrong.
today?
I did drive in today.
Okay.
And it all went, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Dad? Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was alright.
You're all parked closer to here than I am.
Daniel refuses to park anywhere near Queen's
no,
Quarter.
no.
Bro, would
Windsor
bro
Park.
literally drives past Queen's, takes one up and down the Elmwood Avenue, then trips down to Windsor Park.
Yeah.
and
Because
leaves the car
that's the
there.
next reasonable option. And then
To
he
be fair,
walks for about 20 minutes.
I should have gone to Cloyne Gardens this morning,
But
Why?
you didn't.
but I just didn't
got
pop into
parked
my head.
on the road, not Elmwood, but the other one.
I
We
just
literally parked at the SU and
Well,
there was plenty of
I
spaces.
I'm
so-
on Derryville Avenue today, and like a good bit down it as well.
You may as well be on the Lisburn Road.
I'm close to this. There was a spot on the Lisburn Road, and I went, "Oh, there's a spot," and I went, "Hold on, just because it's there doesn't mean that I need to take it. Like I'll be on the Lisburn Road if I park there." There's another time I nearly died in Lisburn Road. I was following you guys to McDonald's after.
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
I'm-
because we went a normal way, and you went.
I went down Windsor
Yeah.
Park, Centre Park, and I had I literally I don't know what happened, but I just went to move out as a car was flying past me, and he had to swerve. I stopped, my heart stopped, and then he literally pulled into the side of the road to like breathe because he was like I nearly just was involved in a murder there if I
Daniel,
had crashed into him.
We
Pulled
were
up.
actually nearly killed too. Like, coming down, there was this accident. Maybe it was last Wednesday or something. And Chloe's, doing her thing in the fast lane, going about 60. Police car comes, like, towards us.
Yeah, like
Like-
so
Same-
the crash was
same
in
way.
the
Yeah,
opposite.
same way,
Yeah,
like-
so
To merge.
the crash was in the opposite side off the road, and like them 2 lanes of traffic were like woeful. Like they were back the whole way up. So once we got past the traffic, we were fine. Like once we got past the crash, even that was all right. Head into the fast lane, take over this car, 'cause it's going like 38 on a like 50 or a 60. So I like go on, getting up, crawling up to about 50. Next minute, get around the bend, unmarked police car without a sirens on. It's flying up our lane into oncoming traffic. Me and Keira like scream. He fires his sirens on, so I like swerve into the left hand lane, shaking like literally shaking like a leaf in the front of the car. I'm driving like this the whole way home, like not okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we told you about that. Like we were not. We
When
were
was it?
silenced the rest of the way home, just past the
Wednesday.
Clawton.
Oh, right, okay.
Recently?
Yeah, like last week. It was like really not okay, and it wasn't my fault. For once,
No.
it wasn't on me.
Proud of you,
Yeah, thanks.
Do you want to get into some yappers then?
I suppose.
And if we've any
Yeah,
other,
some good ones
if any
in
other
there.
driving stories put into our heads, we can spill. But yeah, who wants to start with a wee yapper story?
Kira.
Me?
Yeah.
Go for
Right,
it.
well, Jack, you're going to have to tell me how to scroll in.
Oh, for goodness
There's a
sake.
few wee one-liners in here.
What did you do?
Shit, I started it. No, we're okay.
Right.
Don't touch it.
Okay. Let's see.
Today would be nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay.
Kira, just read one. We're
Okay,
gonna read
just
most of them.
We'll go. So somebody said, I'm 18 and passed my test like 8 months ago and still don't know how to fill up my petrol tank. Do you know what?
That could have been me that put that
Yeah,
one in.
I was
thought
about
it
to
was
say
you,
same.
What?
Yeah.
You literally lift the pump
No,
and
and yeah.
insert it into the big hole in the back of your car.
You see, no, I don't actually think it's the
Not
that's
how
the
I would
problem.
describe it.
No.
Not how I wouldn't say, oh, you just stick it in the big hole in the back of the car. I would.
That could be described as the exhaust pipe. Don't put it
Well-
in the exhaust pipe.
Well, I'm obviously not going to think that, guys.
Has anyone ever put the wrong fuel in their car?
No.
No.
Or like heard of people that have?
I
'Cause
was
that would freak me.
concerned because I went from a petrol to a diesel and I
Oh.
really
That's
overthought
okay.
every
Fair,
time
fair,
I was
fair,
putting
fair.
it in.
I've seen it happen a few times. I work in a garage, so it does actually
It shall
happen
not
quite
be.
frequently.
This one says, I did 3 driving tests and overall got 32 minors and a dangerous.
Right, that's not that bad.
Rookie numbers.
32 minors. What's
4
that, like?
tests.
What?
You
Yes.
did 4?
I did 4.
I was about to say mine
I
was
passed
bad.
on my 4th.
No wonder you near had an
I
accident.
know. Passed my 4th.
You shouldn't be on the road.
Genuinely, I have been on like just like skin of my teeth non-crashes for months now. Like
Maybe it's
sure, I
time
ran
to
2 red
holiday.
lights and I was running about the other way.
What?
I don't tell you guys.
No,
about
you
this.
didn't tell us that.
I was coming home from the cinema with a friend of mine, and we were flying home, and we were talking about the movie we'd just seen, and like I wasn't paying attention. The lights went green, and then by the time, but only like 10 meters in front, there was another set of lights. It was just to like get you through that initial. But I just saw a light went green and was like, I'm now free to just fly around the whole roundabout. So I flew around. And he started screaming, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" But I didn't clock that I had ran a red light, so I was staring at him like, if you're trying to be funny, like I don't find it very funny. And then I just looked and there was no other cars that I'd been with behind me. People like were beeping, like, what is this guy doing? So then I just pulled off to the first lane I saw and like parked, and just we had to just sit there and like take a deep breath
This
for a minute.
is like a recurring like thing with you, like having to pull over and recalibrate.
Because I don't
Because
want
you're a
to.
bad driver.
I don't want. Yeah,
I think you
I'm a
should
driver.
probably just stop.
Give up the
to be
license.
honest.
So I get
You're
the
like
bus.
incriminating yourself here. I just ran a few red lights the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
That's a good thing to say.
Okay, got you.
Not wanting to flex, but I passed my test with 4 minors after 4
Yab,
driving
yab.
lessons.
Seriously.
4 lessons.
That is impressive. Yeah, but
First
you
time?
live
I was going to
like
get triple digits for
you
driving.
live like with tractors and all. You know, I swear you told me you lived on a farm a while ago.
My-
So you've been driving
my
for
granny-
time, like
my
it's not-
granny does, and I've had a few field cars.
Yeah, exactly. So bro knows what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
2 times a charm for me personally. It took me twice to pass my practical, twice to pass my theory, and I failed my theory on the hazard perception the first time. And
Same,
that, apparently
yeah,
that's just not really a common thing. I've never heard of anyone else who's failed in the hazard
did that.
perception. Let's go. Okay, I feel a bit better about myself now. I walked out of the test centre crying my eyes out. I was like not okay. I was like, how have I managed to do that?
I know a guy that failed this theory because he couldn't find the test center. He was walking about like on the street but couldn't find City Exchange, and then his slot like passed, and then he found it, and they were like, "Sorry, mate, you've got to book another one." So he just lost all the money.
So sad.
But yeah, let's get another wee listener's question in here, or listener's story. Sorry.
Do you want to go,
Me?
Jack?
Which one will we do? For 6 months after my driving test, I had to get my dad to reverse my car into my driveway because I couldn't do it.
It's literally something you learn on your test.
Hold on a second. 2 days ago or 3 days ago, you parked in beside Chlorine Gardens, and I know you did it.
But you were...
But you were adamant that you might have needed Jack to reverse your car out of the driveway.
Jack can only do it if there's parking sensors. You
No.
said that. You
No,
said
because
when
I've
you
got-
find out my car
I've
doesn't
got
have
a-
This guy
parking
passed the
sensors,
4
you said
miles.
no.
I've got a Fiat 500 out of there with no parking sensors twice. Thank you very
Well,
much.
I got it out pretty fine. Kira,
Yeah.
it was pretty phenomenal if you ask me.
It was pretty good.
It was a bit intimidating because it was like literally a meter, like getting
Yeah.
my 2 meter long car out of. So I was a bit
We
scared.
were in here, and we were like, Chloe's freaking out down there, I bet you. Because we were literally in here. We were like, she's definitely freaking out.
It's
'cause
my
she's got
it's
the-
my friend's driveway, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get a phone call from one of them saying who has knocked down my
some
driveway
bricks
wall.
on the floor
Wouldn't
here.
me. Wouldn't be me. I can reverse pretty fine.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I think parallel used to be my strongest part. Wouldn't even attempt it anymore.
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
I just can't do it.
Hate to break it to you, I am proud of my parallel parking.
You're
is
really good
good.
at parallel parking.
Where did you parallel park now? Oh yes, it was Port Rush. Right, they ended up being a
That was
loading
good.
bay, and we had to move. But the first time I remember being like, this is like a real touch of class here. To be honest, you're a good parallel parker.
Up until about a month ago, I could do it, and then I don't know what happened. Like, I think I just have overthought it or something. I might just reteach myself because it's quite embarrassing.
Especially when you're in Queens a lot.
Yeah, I know. I just translink. Just kidding. Do you want to read one out?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was flying over, this is one of my personal favourites. I was flying over to Belfast for Queen's University for the open day on the 9th of September 2022. So I decided to fly over on the 8th of September to get there the day before and stay at my brother's, who also goes to Queen's. Firstly, my flight was cancelled to Belfast due to weather conditions, so I decided to get a plane to Dublin and then get a bus from Dublin to Belfast. My flight was delayed for 3 hours to Dublin, meaning I arrived late and missed my bus. So when I was stranded by myself in Dublin Airport at 1 a.m, I then tried to get a bus ticket, but there were none available till 5 a.m. This then resulted in me looking for a hotel, but was not able to get one because I was 17 at the time and they wouldn't take me. So I had to get a taxi around 3 a.m. This ended up costing 200 to 300 euros because the taxi had to take a detour when I was asleep for travelling for several hours. After eventually arriving in Belfast, I went to bed for the open day the next day. Except the Queen had died on that day, and I was travelling.
We do not think the Queen died. It's funny, by the way. It's just this is not.
It's the unfortunate circumstance. The Queen had died on that day. I was travelling, to which Queen's decided not to go ahead with the open day out of respect for the Queen's death. However, I did still end up getting a tour because of the effort I made to get to Belfast.
Like, that is so unfortunate. Oh my word.
Do you want to have a guess who sent that one in?
Was it
Is it
producer?
the second person in the room?
That is so unfortunate. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's absolutely hilarious.
The amount of effort. You're only 17 as well. Like, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would have just slept on the airport floor and cried probably.
You're
I
a
couldn't
brave
do all
man
that
for
stress.
getting, for getting a taxi from
Yeah.
Dublin to Belfast.
Can I ask how you pay for the taxi? Did you have money sitting about, or how did you pay for it?
Bro had the dollar.
Oh my word.
He sort of presented the card reader to me and sort of said, enter the thing, and it's like, it's like 300 euros.
Oh my
I would have
word.
just ran.
No,
Are you going to pay it? I was like,
I would've said no.
Contactless on that one, like
I would have popped out your hand. Oh my
point.
word.
Oh my word.
That is so unfortunate. Oh my word.
I would have forgotten my pin if I had to do
I
that.
know. Conveniently.
Apple Pay.
Right, so this person says, didn't realise that Belfast town was one away when I drove in it for the first time. What?
One way, not one way.
Sorry. I can't really read, so you're going to have to bear with. Like,
Do you
this
get
is
your
going to be
glasses?
really
Do you wear
difficult.
glasses?
No,
No.
but I think I might need them, to be honest. Passed my driving test. No, yeah. Oh, Daniel, the
Just start
spelling
again, just start
mistakes.
again.
I'll just let me just
Hold on. I didn't write them. I did not write them.
I thought you would have at least fixed the grammar. It does actually say text, by the way. Right. Didn't realise that Belfast town was one way when I drove in it for the first time. Passed my driving test a week before this happened. I picked my friends up from the yellow bandstand in Belfast, came out of the junction and turned right down the one-way street. Sorry. A glider, several cars, and a bus came at me and beeped their horns and flashed at me. I just froze across 2 lanes and put my hazard lights on and put my head down. And put my head down so they couldn't see me and made them go around me. Then I realised it happened outside of Musgrave police station and then panicked for a week thinking that the security cameras saw me and expected to get a letter from or something from them. Never got a letter, just trauma from driving in town. Someone should have told me it was all one way.
That's quite funny.
That is.
Oh my word.
Oh wow. Belfast is a nightmare to
it
drive in, to be
is.
fair. Like especially when
I
you
will not
first
do it.
I hate it.
when you first pass, like the thought of it, the amount of lifts I did at like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning just to make sure there was no other cars in the road. Like I was acting like, oh, I'm doing you a big favour. I needed it.
Yeah.
Like I was so petrified.
Yeah.
Even
That's
to
the
this
only time I
day,
feel it.
like there's some roads I'm like, what goes on here? Like what happens?
Earlier, I was driving past opposite the bot, and there was a street down in there, and it is both ways, but I panicked and was like, that must be a one way because I don't know the streets of
It's
Belfast.
the widest road
and I
on.
just drove on to towards Winter Park.
You're wide.
I need to find a new parking space. It's just closer.
I'm just saying, like, how do you not realise that you're like,
because it wasn't
going towards oncoming traffic?
right,
No, I'm
yeah.
talking about this one, like oncoming traffic. Yeah. And your best idea is just stop, put your hazards on, and just cry.
That is
That
so
sounds
fair.
like something
That
you would do,
I would
Chloe,
do
that.
it. Like I
would do
fully
that.
understand, but also I like reading someone else do it. It's like I can't believe there's other people like me in this world. Like I'm feeling a bit understood
Yeah,
now.
that's hilarious.
Oh, right.
Next one.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I've just scrolled past an actual essay.
Literally a critical analysis.
Rose taking uni too seriously. One time I was running to make the train, but the doors were closed, so I tried to stick my foot between them so they'd open back up, but the doors didn't open and my foot was just stuck and I had to fully yank my foot out and fell over. Whole time the conductor was holding a door open for me at 3 carriages down because he saw me running. That is mortifying.
Oh, you just take
That is mortifying.
Oh my word.
Oh, yesterday I ran to get the bus after class. Saw the bus. It pulled out like less than a meter, and I was like, "Here," just drove on.
Oh.
It was pouring. This was then I had to get a bus that dropped me near my house, but not as close as the other bus would. I had to walk about 20 minutes in
You
the
didn't have a
pouring
coat
rain.
either yesterday?
No,
No, well,
No.
he didn't have a hood.
didn't have a hood. I had a jacket, but it's actually in my car now. I put it in front of the fire last night, and it's still a bit damp this morning. It actually got to the stage where it was hurting my face. The rain was hitting it so much. I was drenched. I walked into the house, and my dad turned around and went, "Holy smokes!" I was like flipping, like literally drenched.
That's happened to you like before though.
Because they're scumbags.
No, you just lay it to the bus.
No,
they make
no,
it very
no,
clear.
no.
They've driven away from the curb. They're ready to go. They're not just going to pull back in to let
There's-
Daniel Houston hop in.
There
and
is
then
driving
go.
away from the curb, and there is moving less than a meter out. You can go, "Sorry, I'll be sound." Beep. There's the door. Come back in. That's fair enough. If you were if I was waving you down when you're in the middle of a lane, fair enough. You're not stopping for me. But
Or just don't be late for your train or your bus.
wow,
Which is why I refuse to get the bus, because the bus to where I live there's buses few and far between.
yeah, it'd be awful.
And okay, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. So my car was off the road for 2 weeks
Yep.
because it needed £700 of work done to it.
Yeah.
I was not happy. But anyway, I had to get the glider a few days. I got dropped off at the park and ride in Dundonald. And I was coming home one day, and it was a Friday, all was well. I got picked up at the Dundonald, went home, all was well, went to work. Woke up the next morning, tell me why I had an eye infection. I am near certain the glider gave me an eye infection. And TransLink can come at me, but don't be giving people eye infections. I woke up and I couldn't open this eye. I'm like,
Jack, it was one day.
But the
This is
glider is notoriously.
you
Stinking.
see a few.
I've never got
Me and
on
See,
it.
Chloe
seen the
take
video.
the train every day. Do we have...
Eye
But
infection.
Pink eye or-
That's a train. The glider is...
We'll defend them right now.
The glider is lawless.
The
so it
glider
is.
goes through every area between Belfast and Dundonald.
Yeah,
So
I've
it
never
picks
been
up
on a
lot of
glider.
people.
You seen the videos of like all the fights and stuff in the glider and like
What?
someone got spat on and everything.
What
Yeah.
glider meets and
Probably
Have you
scraps?
seen
Right.
that video of someone who pooped at the back of a glider?
What?
What?
Yeah.
Chloe, that's stinking. No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Someone apparently pooped at the back of the glider.
Oh, it's stinking.
Well, me and Keira have a few good train stories. Like,
Yeah.
we get the train at least 2 or 3 times a week, and I swear, without fail, we will sit near the toilets, and it's not our fault. There's just no other seats in the train. We will have to sit near the toilets almost every single one of those times. And there was one week in particular, it was like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. We were just
Too
not in
early.
the mood. Train was packed. Managed to get one of the wee small seats by the toilet. Oh my word. Someone sat in there from Bangor to the entire way past. They didn't come out of the toilet, did they?
No.
Until we
They
got
didn't,
off at
no.
Botanic. And they were there the whole time, and it reeked. It absolutely reeked. The
What a
noises
big
we
idea.
heard coming from inside that toilet were unholy. They should not have happened. Like, it wasn't right. I hope they survived. I don't think they did.
Can I say,
From what
I
it
know this
smelled like,
person
they
by
did not.
association
Do you?
As well.
You know them?
So, well,
By association,
not
like,
to, they probably
yeah.
wouldn't know me, but I know them,
You know
which
of
is
them,
even
yeah.
a bit more mortifying.
Yeah, it was
Because
not
like, now
right.
I know that
What
that was them.
what age range are they in?
Oh, like too old to be doing that. Like 30s?
Okay,
Early
yeah,
30s?
yeah, definitely. Or at the office.
Like, it's just not
That's stinking.
normal behavior.
I
Yeah.
actually have I have a train story that has traumatized me for life. So this is actually, well, not shade transiting for this because it wasn't here. I was on the train going to Monaco, and we were got on the train. Yeah, as you do. On the train, the train was completely packed. There was only 4 seats available. So obviously there was me, my mum, my dad, and my brother. But only 2 seats. There was 2 at the very front of the carriage and 2 at the very back. So my mum and dad are like, right, we'll sit at the front, you 2 sit at the back. That's fine. So we're about 10 minutes into this journey. Probably should also mention, every single row has 3 seats in it, except the row we're in, because there is a door here on the side that says high voltage. Basically, this is access to the engine.
Right.
It has an X over it with yellow caution tape.
Yeah.
One would say,
Don't go on.
don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't. So we're just sitting 5, maybe 10 minutes into the journey. This door starts to rattle. And me and my brother are going, what's going on? Like, what is this? But we think, oh, maybe this train's going a bit fast. No. This door then comes off. This tape is like taken off. A backpack comes through this door. And at this point, like, we are literally like shaking. We were like, what the actual hell is going on here? A man then crawls from the train engine.
Are you being serious right
Yes,
now?
I'm
Kira.
being so deadly serious.
Why have you been sleeping on this story the whole time we've
man-
been going? This is mental.
All we see is this head going. And we were like, oh my god. So we start freaking out, and obviously everybody else is like French, and they're like, we don't really understand.
Oui,
And they're
oui,
just
yeah.
sitting like this, like, and we're like, can somebody please help us? Like, we were like, I was like maybe 12, 13 at the time. This man crawls out of this train door, like access to the engine. So I don't know where he has been, gets up, and then he goes like this to us, like shoos us off the seats. And it's like
What?
speaking to us like in, I don't know what language it wasn't English, and he sits down on our seats,
French,
and we're
probably.
like, we are like freaking out. So we're like calling, I was like shouting for my dad. My dad gets up, he's a big man, 6'4", comes walking, charging down like the train aisle, and this man cannot get out of the seats fast enough. He literally like skirts down. Then we were maybe like 30 seconds before we like stayed at the platform, we were like gonna stop. It's like pressing the door to try and get out, because obviously the conductor's gonna come see that he's like doesn't have a
Yeah.
ticket, that he's been in the engine. And there's like smoke coming out of this engine door at this point. Opens the door, door's wide open, jumps out.
What? Was the train moving?
Yeah. Like,
What?
It was just before we got to the platform. Man,
So like
off he goes.
it was
off
slowing
he
down,
goes.
but he jumped.
Yeah.
Kira, how have you
That-
been
I'm-
sleeping on this? You've never told
I
us
was
this.
like, literally, I couldn't enjoy my day. Like,
It's just more when we were like, oh, we'll do a public transport disasters day, and you thought, oh, wait
I've got one
to bring this
cracker of a
she
flipping.
did
story.
say she has a great story, but
That's
I
mental.
never thought I was ever going to be anywhere near as good
like-
as
I
that.
thought it was
No
going to
word
be a
of a lie.
TransLink train.
that has traumatized me.
What?
Yeah. Like,
That is
mental.
so
What?
weird.
What?
I am so confused. I'm lost for words right now.
Pay the ticket fare, jump out, break your legs.
That
choice
is
is yours.
so
I know.
concerning.
I was like traumatized for the rest of the day, and I couldn't like. I think we actually maybe got. Did we get the bus back? Because I was like, I'm not going on a train.
Well, fair enough. To be fair, if a wee man
Twice,
crawled
that'd be
out of the
mental.
engine, I'd be a bit concerned as well. I would like literally have nightmares about that for the rest of my life.
I do. I still do. I wake up like.
Or wakes
That
up in
is
hot
just-
sweat.
Wow. I am baffled.
Yeah. That is so.
My jaw has dropped.
French train services need to sort. They need to check their engines.
Check their engines.
Check their engines.
Sort themselves out. to be
Anybody
honest.
hanging on, get them off.
Right, we need to speed
Oh,
up with
yes.
some of these yappers. That's mental. This person says, was driving to work one morning on a backcountry road. Swear to you now, the road is one car wide and a school bus comes flying over the hill in front of me. Safe to say, I did not get stopped in time and my poor car was written off, we'll say there. Which is unfortunate. I also know who sent that one in.
Yeah.
So
That is
unlucky.
actually so sad.
Right, who wants to take on the essay below that?
I'll go for it.
Yeah, I couldn't read that much, to be honest.
Right. Big treacherous journey home to Donegal last Friday. Usually get home with the cousin, but he's decided he's off to the zoo with the woman.
As you do.
So I'm forced into getting the bus home. That's a disaster in itself. So I gear up and get ready to go. In Belfast, I currently live about a 45-minute walk away from the Europa Bus Centre. Weather's not great, I don't fancy the walk, and I've my school bag, gear bag, and hurl with me. Stack that, I'll get one of the public buses that goes every 20 minutes straight to the city centre. I've it all planned out, I've googled the bus timetable, and I'm en route for my first bus of the day. It's scheduled to be at my stop for 11:30 in the morning. With the 2 bags and the hurl, it's taken me about 10 minutes from my accommodation to get to the first bus stop. Still at that, I'm early for the bus. I've planned on getting... Hold on.
Still here for the bus.
We're
I plan on
lost.
getting.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. So, no panic stations yet. I'm early, but 5 people still have me beat to the bus stop. 11:30 comes and goes. No sign of this bus. I'm a reasonable guy. People can be running late. I'll give the bus driver the benefit of the doubt. I check the online timetable. It says this bus is running 2 minutes late. No problem. If that's the case, I'll still be early for my bus to Derry at 12. 5 to 12, still no sign. 4 out of the 5 other people at this bus stop have now given up on the bus. They're walking now. Should I join them? Realistically, forget this bus. The bus coming after it should be here by now too. 12 bells and the 11:30 bus shows, but hopes of a 12 o'clock 212 are long gone. I arrive at the Europa and cough up to £7 for a ticket. Bit of a latching, but it is what it is. Theme of the day, this bus is late too. Meant to be leaving at 12:30. I'm delayed a further 15 minutes, but eventually the wheels get moving and it's all go for Derry. I've now just got a text from the old doll saying that because I'm not going to be in Derry till 3:45, my dad can no longer collect me, as he's to throw my sister out to the house. I'm now eyeing up a couple of hours in Derry. No man killed, I suppose. What?
I don't even know what that means.
Typical Donegal, Michael. But anyway, no man killed, I suppose, but I'm like a bull at this point. To top it all off, the bus that I'm now on, going to Derry, breaks down in the middle of the road.
Bro's having the worst day of his life right now.
We were probably stopped 5 minutes before I realised, to be honest. But all the same, this day has just not gone my way. Myself and the rest of the 212 crew get told
That's so cute.
we'll have to get off this bus as it's going nowhere anytime soon, and that we'll have to get in the next bus coming after us. In fairness, due to our earlier delay, we're only waiting 10 minutes for this bus. After about 5 minutes of everyone on my bus getting themselves and their bags onto this other bus, I'm finally moving again. At long last, I arrive in Derry, and as I'm getting off the bus, discover 2 of my other cousins are on this bus I had to get on. My only stroke of luck for the day,
Aw.
I can get home to Cairn with them. In conclusion, bleep TransLink and listen to Hawkeye Wednesdays 3 to 4 on Queen's Radio. Sincerely,
what?
Michael.
It's a brilliant story.
He put a shift in
That's a
typing that
brilliant
out.
story. That was
That's good.
nearly a page long.
Honestly, I actually feel bad for you. I think I would just give up at that point. There'd be no going home for me at that rate.
Yeah,
I would be so sad.
totally. It's more. I mean, what stage did you guys decide the bus is not coming at? If let's say you're 11:30, what stage are you going?
Well,
This isn't gonna be
this
here.
is actually quite fitting because on New Year,
There's terrorists on my bus.
I looked at the timetable. We were gonna get the bus up to. We were going to Limelight for New Year, and paid silly amount for a ticket. So I was going, and so then.
Sorry, you just
Sorry,
showing us
Halloween.
something.
Fiona's showing us a guy with a tattoo of a certain symbol from the 1940s.
Mental.
Is this today?
On the
glider.
glider.
On the glider.
This
Perfect
proves my
timing.
point.
Love a bit of relatability, like yeah.
Very interesting.
Cesspit. Go ahead.
So I was going up to Baba, and so we gonna get the train at I think the last train was 9:30. Perfect. Check the timetable. Everything was great. So I drove to the train station with my friend. We're standing waiting. Train was meant to be at 9:35. We're going, where's this train? Where's this train? Then we're standing at, this was about 10:15. We're like, okay, this is they're taking the piss a wee bit here. Where is the train? It got to 5 to 10 before we realised that we looked at the Monday to Friday timetable instead of the Sunday timetable. So there was no trains coming. The last train was at 8 o'clock. So then my other friend who I was with was like, okay, we're going to need to drive up. Her parents couldn't drive us up. My parents were out for dinner, so they couldn't drive us up. So I drove us up all the way to Belfast.
After
on New Year.
paying £25 for a
After
Limelight
paying
ticket.
£25 for a resale ticket. So happy New Year.
That is so sad.
It really was.
Bless you.
You guys show so much resilience. Not I could not do it. I'm sorry. I'm just too. One, I would crumble. I would just start crying and just give up. I just couldn't do it. The fact that you still then chose to drive and then drive randomers
I was getting
home
those
at that.
£25 worth. I was going.
Was it good?
What are they? It was not bad. Ended very
25 quid worth?
interestingly, but well, no. No.
So here's a good one here. I was rushing home for praise and pulled up in the curb outside my house and jumped out of my car to go get ready. I came out 20 minutes later with no car in sight and ran into the middle of the street to see it crashed up against the wall of someone's garden with an electrical box completely destroyed. I then ran down, hopped in my car and drove off with the exhaust sounding like a lawnmower.
Are you serious?
Few days later, drove past with people from the council looking at the damage, and to this day, no one knows it was me.
Mental.
Apart from because I know
apart from
who
you.
wrote that.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's mental.
Honestly, it was one of the funniest things. I have photos of it.
Crashing the wall of someone's garden with an electrical box completely destroyed.
It
Take a bit of responsibility.
and the best thing about it was he completely didn't think it was that big of a deal.
Okay.
Just didn't think it was just oh, it's all right. I drove past the house the day after it happened, or maybe I was dropping him home that night. I don't even remember. Saw the electrical box, and it was not right. It was it was completely destroyed. Yeah. And whenever he says it rolled into the garden of or the wall of one of his neighbors, this isn't a 5 meter roll. This is a good near 70 meters down the street, downhill. And this wee car is a small thing. It wasn't holding up very well as it was. So the fact that it even survived is pretty. I'm actually really proud of it, to be honest. So, but no one ever found out. The neighbours kept the hush, so he's in the clear. It's all good.
Not a disaster really, but was on was on a bus going into my town, and the woman in front of me had the worst dandruff humanly possible. Thought her hair was grey, but it was just clumps of the stuff. Was scratching her hair, and it was falling into my effing lap. Was meant to be going for food after, but I didn't eat that much.
Oh my
That's
word.
disgusting.
That is so bad. That is so
Imagine your hair
bad.
being so dandruff ridden. People thought it was grey.
No, that is not. Oh,
That's
just imagine sitting there and you're just getting a pile of it in your lap. I wouldn't even go to dinner.
Oh.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
That's made me feel really queasy or something.
Stinking.
Oh. Anyway, next one. I had pulled into the side of the road on University Street to look for a space in the area and had left enough room for cars to easily pass when an R driver in a Fiat 500 came speeding past and clipped my wing mirror and did a hit and run. Fiona was issue.
Was it? No. Have you ever? I think no one's ever done a. I've actually never hit another car. I'll say that, but I've never. Not yet. Like I haven't clipped a wing mirror or anything like that. But I know people that have. Like I was getting a lift home. Oh, have you? I was getting a lift home with a friend one day after class, and he was parked like close to like Windsor Park, and there's a whole crew of us around there, and he was driving past and he just clipped someone's wing mirror on the way past. No, it didn't come off, but he definitely hit it, and then his like folded in because he'd hit it. And he's like, "Did I hit that?" And I was like, "Yeah, yours is folded and staring at you, so you've absolutely hit that, 100%." Yeah.
It was not even. It wasn't like a car accident. I don't like using that word. It's a bit harsh. It was like a car oopsie. I like to call it like a car, like a it was like it wasn't like a big deal. Yeah, like it was really like honestly, it was fine. No money was paid or nothing. So like. Okay. Let's just keep this really minimal. Right. Was driving through Ballyholme not long past my test. If you've ever driven through like the wee town in Ballyholme, it is a nightmare. Like you would know, there's like 2 spaces that sit out in the lane for some reason, like car parking spaces. So I was going round, and as I go round, this car in the opposite like lane comes out to parallel park. So his nose is swinging out, and I'm like, well, here I'm really not looking for an insurance job. Like I'll just swerve over a wee bit out of the way, and so I like move in, and I'm like, it's either the wing mirror or it's me flying through the windshield at this point. So wing mirror it is. I think I've probably missed it. Then I realised that the car beside me it was just the casing. It wasn't the whole wing mirror, just the casing. So it flew out onto the road. I pull up, run over, pick it up, stick it back on the van that I had hit. Then waited for it to come out, because obviously that's the nice thing to do. And I was also good. Like doing my pants. I was so scared. Okay. So my wing mirror had a few wee scratches in the top. Honestly, it could have been bushes. Actually, my parents think it was bushes from Donegal, but I'll get back to that. Okay. Stick the wing mirror back on. I'm like, this is great. It's all fine. Like, look, it's hanging on.
Your parents listen to this?
Yeah, but it's fine.
Lindsay, close your ears.
Just stop listening. Stuck it back on, waited for it to come out. I startled her. She came out of the wine flare with a bottle of wine, and she'd hopped into your van, and I like banged on the window, and I was like, I am so sorry to like inform you that I have hit your wing mirror, but and she was like, what? And I was like, no, like it's okay, like it's fine, like it's not broke or anything, like you can get out and check it. And she texted me, oh, don't worry about it. She was like, you know, like there's no scratches or nothing, like that's all good, like we don't have to worry about it. Explained to her that it wasn't my fault, it was in fact the car that had just decided to parallel out and swing into my lane. And she was like, that's okay, fully understandable, bad straight, great, drove off. A few weeks later my dad's like, why is there scratches on the top of your wing mirror? I was like, remember I was in Donegal over the summer, them roads are mental,
bushes in Donegal,
them bushes are crazy.
Although
I do think when I was drunk on holiday I did tell them that this happened, so it's just whether or not they remember. If not, surprise, sorry, but it's all good. The insurance don't know, so it's fine.
This person says, I love listening to people's phone calls while sitting on the 1A. Interesting. And this person says, I want more trains to Larne. Bangor service is a joke.
Who would want to go to Larne? No harm.
True. Sounds like a you problem, to be fair. Translink know what they're at. Keep none of that territory.
One of the few times I've taken a bus, I don't know how they work. I was waiting for a bus for 2 hours and non-stop for me. I was so confused until I realised that I wasn't at a bus stop at the start.
Idiot, like.
That is just...
What?
Like,
how can he not be?
Was he just standing at a lamp?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like me walking out onto like just the street and standing there and being like, there's no buses coming to get me.
I just don't... One time, do we read that? One time my dad knocked down a wall at a cinema reversing into a parking spot when we were going to see the Smurfs 2. You can see where it was rebuilt to this day. Well, at least you've made your mark, to be honest.
I'd love to know what cinema that is. I'd love to see the rebuilt
wall.
Let me see. Oh, we've done that one, haven't done that one yet. I once went to get on a bus with no cash and wanted to pay by Apple Pay. The bus driver says that I'd have to pay by the app and I could show him my ticket on the way out. However, as I got up to my seat, my phone was sitting on low battery and it died just before I got off at my stop. I wasn't able to show him the ticket and started pooing it. I didn't know what to do, so I said thanks and walked off the bus casually with no questions asked. I then decided to go home and pay for a bus I wasn't getting to make up for it. Like, there is no need
You
whatsoever.
didn't need to do that, to be honest. You really didn't.
wasted your money there.
It's so honest,
Um,
but it just didn't need to happen
It's
at
very
all.
admirable.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
admirable,
yeah,
very
yeah.
honest of the listeners.
Very,
yeah,
very honest.
With respectable people here. Yeah.
In Bangor, there's this wee man, he drives around his mobility scooter in the road and it has like a roof and plastic windows.
Do you know this
But
guy?
yeah, he
Would
held
not
up
know
all the
about I've seen
traffic on the dual carriageway and it took absolutely forever for me to get home. Don't understand why I didn't just use the footpath. Lol.
On the dual carriageway.
Yeah, no, he
What are
actually
you
does. I've
doing?
seen him like on the road.
There's a wee van, he goes
Is it
around, he
road
has his
legal?
wee flags and all on it.
Surely not. Yeah,
I think I've seen
Yeah,
him.
he has. It's honestly his class. He puts wee flags all around his wee mobility scooter, and he just speeds off. And like in Bloomfields and all, you need to be careful because some of them will honestly just drive through you,
Yeah.
like your air, like you can, like they will just fly. They also used to have the mobility scooters like all lined up at the front doors of Bloomfields, and when we were younger, like that was just it was like go karts.
How fast could a mobility scooter go? Do you reckon?
I don't know.
Not that fast.
I've never used one.
Would like one of those electric scooters be faster than a
Oh
mobility
yeah,
scooter?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah,
Probably.
yeah. They're banned, aren't they?
Yeah.
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 But people still
They're
have
not.
them.
They're not legal. They're allowed on private property, I believe.
Okay.
I was getting the bus home from school as normal and it just failed all of my mocks, so I was pretty upset. When we stopped, really suddenly, this was because a massive horse was blocking the road. The bus driver, which we call Crazy Tracy because she's crazy, and gets out of the bus to tame the horse. IG, because she's yelling her way out that she used to ride horses, so she would know what to do.
All right, Tracy.
And lo and behold, she did. Got it back in the field in 5 minutes.
Wow.
That's the end of the story.
Oh, my word.
So she's
Nice.
actually the
Say a
goat.
career change for Tracy.
Yeah. Horse whisperer.
Some of the people typing these in honestly need to just
Yeah.
do a wee final read through because
Just check the spelling here. Chloe's getting tripped up.
I'm like I'm struggling as it is. Okay.
After a long wet day of hockey in January, I got on the school bus to get home and I sat on the back of the bus. About 20 minutes later, I realised we were very close to my stop, so I got up to run and press the stop bell. As I rose from my seat and began to speed walk, I slipped and landed flat on my back. I rolled about for at least a minute. A minute's a long time. Trying to get back up due to the heavy hockey and school bags on my back, keeping me on the ground like a turtle on its back. I finally was helped up, then I realised I had missed my stop and everyone was looking for me. If I'd only dried the bottom of my feet, I'll know for next time.
That is so
That's my worst
sad.
nightmare.
That's like me and Chloe. Every time we have to get off at our stop, we always conveniently get up just a little bit too early, like stand up a bit too early. Some are standing in the aisle and there's nowhere to hold on to, and it's always when the train stops,
So
we
awkward as
like
well.
a jolt
Yeah.
backwards into each other every single time.
I'm trying to think if I have any other like bad like public transport or driving stories. I know of people that have got in car crashes. My mother one day, this is probably a bad one, was driving over the high town and someone decided to overtake on the high town as another car came up the hill.
Oh my word!
It's called a head-on
Oh my
collision.
word.
And mother didn't have to go to work because they were like, just you're probably in shock, just you take a minute there, you're all right, which is no good. Don't want a head-on collision.
When I was in year 8, actually, I think it was like my first few weeks of school. So I was like, really nervous, like had to be in exactly on time every single day. My dad was taking me. This was the day I had the violin, I had the hockey bag, I had PE stuff, like I had absolutely everything, hockey stick and all. And dad's taking me to school, and our driver behind him, like she didn't crash into him, she like bumped him. But I don't know, at the time he had a BMW and apparently they like shut down like when there's like impact to them, like they just don't work or something.
Serious?
So this like car shuts down in the middle of Bangor Centre at about like 20 to 9. My dad gets out of the car, has a wee look, then goes to speak to the girl behind who, yet I say again, is an R driver who has just bumped into him.
Yeah.
So I'm freaking out, might not get to school on time. He has the bright idea of putting me and all of my stuff in the car with this R driver. And yeah, that's what he did. So he said, Keira, get into the car with this R driver. Take all your stuff with you. She'll take you to school. I'm going, Dad, she's literally just like bumped into you, and now you're putting me in a car like with her.
Did you go to your school?
No. No. What? She was just a random like 18-year-old at the time.
So many good
Where
stories
do you
with this.
find
Like,
these people?
I have no idea.
Keira.
So I get into the car with this 18-year-old who's just bumped into my dad, our driver. So I'm like, whose sensible idea was this to put me in a car with a girl who's just done that?
Yeah.
So then he was like, just take her to school. I'll sort this out. So he's just sitting on the wee bank beside the train station in Bangor, beside his car, while this R driver takes me to school.
What
And
age
I'm
are you?
like, I was, about 12, 13?
What?
This time
Was
of your
there
life
much-
was traumatic.
Was there much
It really
chat?
was.
Was there much chat in the car?
What?
Was there much chat?
I was just like, I'm going to be late. My fortune teacher's going to give me a late mark. Like,
To
is
this
literally-
random R driver?
Yeah. And she was like, I was
Keira.
just kind of like so worried that I like crashed into your dad. But like, I think it's fine. Like, I think we'll be okay. The whole time, like, she's like trying to be like,
Reassure
gaslight
herself.
me. And
Yeah.
reassure her. And then she dropped me off at school. She's like, well, have a good day.
Have a good day.
I get out with like my 200 bags, walk in and just launch into tears. And my mum's friend was my form teacher at the time. She was off on holiday that week, so it was a substitute. So I come in and completely launch into tears into the substitute. And I was like in RS at about 10 o'clock, and someone comes in, there's like, Keira, there's a phone call for you. And it's my mum on the phone. She's like, what just happened? Like, I literally just heard that someone, like, your dad, did he actually put you in a car with an R driver? Like,
That's
he is
mental.
so irresponsible.
Wait, were we in the same form class?
In
What?
here,
You're
yeah.
second year?
Mrs. Woolsey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Sorry,
Shout out.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Woolsey.
Because
wasn't
I
there,
have
she
like
was
a
on
vague
holiday.
memory of this happening, of like you coming into class like crying and like no one knew
Yeah.
like what was wrong. Like
was
we
it.
were just like,
That was
what?
it.
I went on a school. I went on
Traumatised.
a school trip once to W5 just for the day, but it was like a business studies thing. So like we're a bit old to be going to W5, but we were there, and it was like 5th year. And then like reports started dripping through the grapevine that someone had been hit by a car. but like you couldn't tell if it was like someone was winding you up or like because like our school, I went to BRA, so like there's the schools on this side, and then like you have like a swimming pool like and all like the sports hall and stuff on that side, and like there's a road obviously in between it, so there's a crossing. People, if there wasn't cars coming, they just wouldn't hit the button, they'd just run across the road. And apparently this is like exam season as well, so apparently story goes that this guy decided like don't see any cars, ran across the road when other people's were crossing, and this car just hit him for 6, and he like flew, apparently like just skirted across the road. He was okay, but skirted across the road, and everybody that was doing the exam that saw that got 100%. Or it might not have been 100, but it was definitely they got
Why
like
doesn't this happen to me?
a significant like advantage or whatever, because they saw this guy get brutally hit
Oh,
by the
wow.
car. Yeah.
Did he die? Or?
No,
Oh,
he was fine. Like I wouldn't be telling us if he was dead, but like,
I was saying.
but no, he was in the school a few days later, and then we sling. But he was okay. Like
I think
fine.
Rafe has something.
Oh.
Rafe has a wee
he's
story.
typed it
Oh
up
wow,
now.
very good, Riff. Jeepers. One day, my grandma was driving on the motorway, and she's driving behind a big cement mixer. And she's driving along when something smashes through her windscreen and lands in her lap.
Oh.
And cement launched from the truck and landed on her car into her lap. So like cement came out of the top. That's mental.
Oh
So, like,
my
through
word.
the windscreen.
Was she okay? Oh, she didn't die. I'm glad.
That's mental.
You would get a big pay
that's-
from
that's
that
my
there,
worst
surely.
fear.
Big payout.
I was behind one the other day, and something was dripping out the back of it. I'm like, that's not looking good.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
I've never been in a car crash, and I've been told by my friend not to mention this, and I'm not mentioning it. I'm not mentioning it. So if you're listening, you know who you are.
Just reference it.
That's exactly it. I'm MLA referencing it. He told me. In fact, his words to me were, "If you bring that up, you'll regret it." So I, yeah,
Is that threats?
yeah, threats made on what's happening. So I'm not bringing this up. I'm just saying when that happened, we were all like, "Do we claim off this guy?" Because like obviously like he's like a friend of ours.
I would.
None of us were in any pain whatsoever. Like it was not a crash. It was a bump. Like he just like. But then we all started like rubbing our necks and stuff. As if, like,
What's
we were
going
gonna,
on?
yeah.
I thought you were like, this was really bad, and you actually had like whiplash and all, and
There-
you
there
were
was
debating whether it was like.
Another friend, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, was genuinely like in a car crash. Like got a lift home from a party one night, and next thing you know, like whoever did him a lift crashed the car on like just a country road, and they were all fine. Like, but like he doesn't have PTSD, but I think for a while after he was a bit hesitant of like
Getting in a car.
getting in a car and stuff.
Yeah, to be fair.
As you would be, like my dad was in a car crash when he was younger. He was on his way to rugby trainer after school, and like up the Hightown Road, bang.
Hightown Road seems like a traumatic.
Hightown Road is
place for your
bad.
family.
Yeah, it is. Hightown Road's a dangerous place.
This is
like,
making me really uneasy. Like
No, I'm not going to be able to drive home.
Kira will be like juddering the
I
whole
know,
way
that's
back.
it. That's it. I've 20-minute walk to Windsor Park to sort of settle myself and get back in.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah. I need to find that's Operation Find a New Parking Space is my goal.
Just drive around the place
I know,
like a normal person.
but then
Yeah,
I'm
like anyone
scared
else
of these
would.
roads. I'm not scared of them, but they're just. Yeah, I probably should just drive around.
No,
Chloe
to be
Gardens is where I
fair,
should've
the
gone.
amount of accidents I've nearly had driving around here just because people pull out for the crack.
Yeah,
See,
you have to be sure.
Yeah. They're so like
Oh.
they're so
It's always
brave.
other people. It's
Exactly.
Never,
It's never my
you.
fault.
Always
Exactly.
other people.
Push the blame on somebody else.
I was driving here one day. It might have been for class or something. I don't know what it was for.
Probably not.
And
Wasn't on a Tuesday or Thursday.
all right, cheeky.
Yeah.
hold on.
Just
Last week's episode,
Yeah.
he said he's missed maybe 4
Lies.
classes. The next day after we recorded it,
No joke.
he did not turn up to uni until the afternoon. We had a 3-hour lecture in the morning, and bro
And he
was
did
in
not
bed.
show up. So
I told you all it was doctor's appointment. It
The
was
old dad
not
always
a doctor's
Uh-huh.
appointment. It was I had slept in.
okay.
But
Bit of a coincidence.
Snap Maps told me that, but anyway.
Did you look at my snap?
Oh yes.
I looked at Snap. I said he wasn't online yet, so I say he's still in bed.
Yeah.
Actually, also yesterday, whenever we thought that,
She had the cheek to text me yesterday.
I just said, "Are you awake?"
I'm sitting in the foyer waiting for the lecture. Like, where are you, mate?
To
Well,
be fair, we thought
mate.
we thought Rafe was sleeping this morning because his
Yeah.
Snap
We
Maps said
did.
last
He
seen
probably
10
was.
it
hours
was
ago.
like
Probably
10 hours.
around.
I was like, oh, he's definitely not either.
well,
But yeah,
we should probably
that was good. I enjoyed that
wrap it
theme.
up.
That was a strong theme
Yeah.
to
It
start
it was
with.
good.
I didn't know Keira had so many.
A
Oh,
traumatic
sorry.
stories.
Just to finish off, yes, I was driving to uni and I was coming down the Shango Road because that's whatever way I go to uni, and there is a zebra crossing, and there was a car coming the other way, but it had tinted windows. So he had just passed me, and he had tinted windows, so I didn't see that there was a guy halfway across the crossing, and I flew through the crossing, and if he had been a step in front of me, I would have knocked down a pedestrian.
Daniel, you need your license
Yeah,
taken
so to
off.
wrap this up, Daniel should stop driving.
Petition to get Daniel off the road.
Yeah, I think he should just stop.
Get the bus.
Yeah.
Get
Just
the-
walk.
Yeah.
get the
I don't
plough.
even think you should get the bus,
Not
to be
the bus.
honest. I
Walk.
think you need a
After
chauffeur
today.
because even trying to get the bus, you tend to have a
Bad. That'd be awesome.
bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, that was a pretty good episode. I think next week's theme is worst nights out.
Yes, it is. It's
So-
worth nights out.
I think we should get some good ones in there. Everyone send in what you've got, and obviously we'll have loads of
Good
yapping to
ones.
do
Stories.
ourselves.
That one, yeah. That's,
Um,
can't wait for that week.
But yeah, the forums will be up on the Instagram again, and thank you so much for everyone's participation.
And if you missed last week's episode and want to catch up, it'll be on the What's Yappenin YouTube channel and the Queen's Radio Spotify.
Make sure to give us a follow as well
Mhm.
on
Instagram,
All the
Instagram,
socials.
socials,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all what's
The link
happening
tree.
everywhere.
no G at the end.
The YouTube.
Because we're cool.
We're cool like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's happening
And thanks
Yeah.
very much to Fiona and Rafe
Yep. for the cameras
for helping us all.
and the
with
emotional support.
Yeah. And stories about our grannies getting covered in tonight.
Alrighty, guys, see you later.
Bye.
To yap.
It's time to yap. Turn it up.
It's Chloe
Daniel.
Jack,
And Kira.
and this is
What's happening?
Live on Queen's Radio.
on YouTube and Spotify.